Well, we have a very special episode with us today. We have Coach Smalley with Orangefield Independent School District. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to visit with about our program.
Well, Coach, before we delve into the football program at Orangefield, give us a little bit about your background.
1994 graduate of Bridge City High School. Coaching wise, I started my coaching career in about 1995, 96. I was a graduate assistant at Bridge City. They hired me to basically, I'd go to school in the morning, and then I would come after school and coach junior high sports. I did junior high football, junior high basketball, junior high track. I did that for about 3.5 years. Got out of school in '99 from Lamar. Bridge City hired me to coach freshman football and some varsity baseball. Did that for a couple of years. Went to LCM for a year, worked for David Williams, coached varsity running backs there. Went to Vider for a year after that, coached for Coach Matthews, did offensive line there as a varsity coach. Had an opportunity to go back to Bridge City when Claude Tarver got the job there as a head coach and coached for him, coached receivers for him. And then in 2006, Blake Morrison was the head coach here in Orangefield. And he called me in 2006, wanted to know if I'd come interview for the offensive coordinator job. So I came over here, was offensive coordinator at Orangefield for 2006, 2007. 2008, my best friend got the principal job at Bridge City. So he called me, wanted to know if I'd want to go back over there and work for Chris Stump. Chris Stump was the head coach there at that time. So I went back over there to Bridge City, worked for Chris Stump for 4 years, 2008 through 2012. And then 2012 interviewed for this job here at Orangefield and have been here ever since.
Well, you, of course, started coaching pretty much right out of high school.
Yeah.
What point in your life did you decide, hey, this is what I want to do?
I remember it vividly. It was my freshman year in high school. I remember, I've always had, obviously, played sports, had a tremendous interest in sports. The position I played in high school, I played quarterback. And the head coach we had at the time in Bridge City was he liked to throw the ball, which at that time was, wasn't the common, wasn't the norm. So I got the opportunity to learn really more than just calling plays. He let me learn the X's and O's of the game. Here's cover 2, this is cover 4, it's cover 3. Here's their responsibilities. If this linebacker blitz, this is the hot route. So I started to learn the game X and O's wise in high school. And then I had a teacher my freshman year who was a coach named Richard Briggs. And he was my geography coach freshman year, and he coached football. And I saw the way he approached the job. Like it was more than a job; it was a calling, so to speak. He loved the profession, loved the kids, but he loved coaching sports. But he took time to develop relationships with kids, have fun with kids, get to know kids, love on kids, and he made playing football and playing basketball fun, exciting, and then. So when I saw how he kind of approached his job, and I thought, man, it makes me feel really good to be in his class, makes me feel good to be one of his players. I think this is the path I want to go down in life.
Let's see. My mind went blank for a second. I'll just take this little
It happens to me a lot.
You've mentioned a couple people that were like strong influences in
Mm-hmm.
your decision to be coaches. What are some other like people that like influenced both your decision to be a coach, plus like maybe your coaching philosophy? People that helped you develop how you approach being a coach.
I've been real fortunate. I've been surrounded by some good people when I was a player and as a coach. When I was a player at Bridge City in junior high, we had a pretty good coaching staff of junior high coaches, guys that wanted to be junior high coaches, guys that were older, had experience. Dwight Thacker, Troy Woodall, Ken Pittman, Bill Dixon were my junior high coaches. And they were older men, experienced coaches that wanted to coach junior high, that did things the right way, held you accountable, were big on discipline, were big on teaching, how to play the game and fundamentals. And then I went into high school, and like I said, I got to play for Coach Briggs and Charlie Miller, and I could go down the list. David Guidry, my head coach, Terry Townsend, Richard Bethea, who was still coaching. So, I mean, all these guys had a tremendous impact on my life, and as far as kind of pointing me in that direction. And then you got teachers and administrators. I mean, I work at Orangefield. I grew up in Bridge City, and there's a lot of things I owe to the people of Bridge City for making me kind of the man I am today, from high school principals to superintendents to cafeteria ladies to custodians to grounds crew. There's a lot of people over there that helped groom me into education and then treated me the right way and helped me get to where I am. And then when I got into coaching, I've been fortunate to work for a lot of good head coaches. I came out working for James Conway when he was at Bridge City. He had some success there. I've worked for Jeff Matthews, who I think the world of. David Williams at LCM is one of the best guys you'll ever meet in your life. Blake Morrison was really good to me here, let me call plays and learn the aspects of offensive play calling and making a practice schedule and different things like that. And then Chris Stump at Bridge City was good to me. He let me grow as a coach and gave me some responsibilities that I've never had before in a profession. I think really helped groom me to where some of the administrative stuff of being an athletic director, head football coach. So, man, it's a lot of people that I owe a debt of gratitude for helping me get here.
And the way it happens in Texas, and I'm not sure about other states, usually the head football coach is also the athletic director for the district's sports activities. So that
Yes,
means
sir.
at this particular time of the year, your plate is probably full and it's almost become a buffet.
Yeah.
How do you balance that particular aspect of your job during the busy part of the season?
Yeah, the fall's not bad, to be honest with you, because you're really dealing with junior high sports, you're dealing with volleyball, cross country, and football, and at the high school, you're dealing with cross country, volleyball, football. So it's not. I mean, there's only a couple sports going on, but now I think today is the first day of girls basketball practice. So now business is about to pick up. You got volleyball, cross country, basketball. Spring's really busy with everything we got going in spring. But to answer your question, I think the most important thing is you hire good people and you let them do their job. And I think we've done a good job here of hiring good head coaches of different sports, whether it be basketball, volleyball, cross country, baseball, softball. We've got people in head coaching positions that know what they're supposed to be doing. They know the profession. We have similar philosophies on how we approach things, and you rely on people for their help. We got a high school principal here who does a lot of stuff with athletics. We got a superintendent whose kids are in athletic program. Our school board's real supportive of our athletic program. So you can't do it by yourself. I want to say that maybe the first couple of years in this position, I tried, and it wears you down pretty fast. But the key to success, I think, in any business or any program is you hire the best people you can hire for those positions, and you get out of their way, you let them do their job, and you're there for them when they need you, when they need advice, or when they have questions. But that's it, man. We got good people in good positions, and that's something that I'm proud of our district for doing is hiring quality individuals.
And talking about coaching philosophy, what's a philosophy that you approach as far as on the field or in practice that you try to instill in your players and your staff?
Yeah, as far as the games go, practices, stuff like that, we want to instill the philosophy of we're going to be tough, not just physically tough, but mentally tough. We have a little saying around here. We call it TPO, tough people only. And that's kind of what we want. You don't have to be the fastest kid to be tough. You don't have to be the strongest kid to be tough. You just got to be tough. And what I mean by that is, able to overcome adversity, able to overcome bad situations, never wanting to quit, always pushing through to the finish. Give your best effort every time you're on the field, every snap that you're out there. You're going to give your very best for the program, for the team, for the community. That's kind of what we push around here. We're real big on the weight room. We're real big on hard work. We don't apologize to our kids for working them hard. We don't apologize to parents for working them hard. We want discipline. Our head coaches know we want our kids to be disciplined. We expect them to act right, talk right. When they don't, we hold them accountable for it. We're part of the puzzle here. That old saying, "It takes a village," is true. Hopefully we're part of the puzzle to help groom these young people to one day when they get that diploma in their hand to leave here better people and big contributors to society and good husbands and good fathers and good mothers and good wives, good parents. And if we can do that, we feel like we've done our job. But a lot of that comes from the things you learn in athletics, football, but discipline, teamwork, hard sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot of things for the betterment of the team and for the program, and you have to be willing to do that. We have a sign on our wall in the locker room that says, "I surrendered me for we." It's truly about us. It's not about me. And so if we can get kids to buy into that philosophy and really, and I think for the most part, we have our kids are really big on the team doing well more than themselves, and so those are the things we kind of push on the field. But our ultimate goal is to put a product on the field our community can be proud of. That when people come to the games, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, whatever, that they walk away, whether we won or lost, they can walk away out of that stadium saying, I'm proud of what those kids did. I'm proud of the way they competed, and I'm going to come back next week and watch them do it again.
Okay, and let's like kind of switch gears real quick and talk about Orangefield's football program this season. If I'm correct, you're 6-2 for the season so far and undefeated currently in district. So it stands to reason that you have a really good shot at becoming the district champs. Could you, like, for instance, give us this is probably the shout out time. Tell us some some of the players that have stepped up that
Well,
of course you're talking about the whole team, but some of the players that have really just exceeded your expectations on the field.
you're correct with our record, and we have not won a district championship here, an outright district championship in football since 1988. So that's one of the goals of the team and the players. We'd like to be the first to do that since 1988. Well, we got a long ways to go. We got a good Kirbyville team next week, and then we end up at East Chambers, and they're always tough. But as far as players go, you got Cameron Dishler, who's rushed for 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns through 8 games, and but our linemen, those we graduated every lineman last year. And so all those guys were brand new coming into this year. They never had played varsity football before. And so they've grown and gotten better. And, that starts with our strong tackle, Gavin Pollock, our strong guard, Ethan Brown's a sophomore this year, our center, Braden McGee, our quick guard is Blake McBride, our quick tackle. You're going to make me forget names. Our quick tackles, Ethan Blackburn. And those guys have really stepped up. And our other running backs, Paracosi, Singleton, our quarterback, Braden Parker. And we got two giant tight ends. We got Cohen Maddox is, 6'2", 6'3", and then Sampson 6'3", 6'4", 230 pounds. And, so those guys offensively and those running backs don't get those numbers without those big guys up front. And you look on the defensive side of the ball, we got two inside linebackers that are juniors, Kyle Michelle and Lane Gibson, that have played well for us. Our corners, we got a freshman out there. One of our corners is Mason Manning. He's a 14-year-old out there playing varsity football, and he's performed well and done well. And Jackson Humplick, our other corner, and Kane Smith, our other safety, has really played well. In fact, he was our defensive player of the week last week against Hardin. We got a guy nose guard, Riley Hooks, is a big kid. He's hard to move. Rustin Traxler has played well for us at the end, and Rustin and Pollock have not played football since junior high. So they played as eighth graders, and they didn't play as freshmen and sophomores and juniors, and came to me last year in off season and said, hey, coach, we want to play. We feel like we can help the program. We can help the team. We want to come out and try to help. And so they went through off season with us, and you don't really know what they're going to do until you get them out there and throw them in the fire. And to their credit, they've stepped up and played well, considering they've missed the last 3 years. So really proud of the team as a whole. Our kicker is a sophomore, and he's done well for us this year. And so we feel comfortable if we get it to within a 40-yard shot. We got a great shot at making a field goal, and he's done well on kickoff. So it's hard to single out one person. I think I named the whole roster, but really, I mean, it is the truest form of a team. We don't have individuals, and even the guy, Cameron gets a lot of the limelight because of how many yards he has and touchdowns, but he'll be the first to tell you it's about the team. It's about the guys blocking for him. And he knows without those guys, he couldn't do what he does. So just proud of the mindset of the guys. Like, it is truly a team thing here, not an individual thing.
Back into coaching. If you had a young person, like maybe fifth grader, maybe going into sixth grade, and happened to come to you and said, Coach, I want to play football for you when I get to high school, what would you tell him what he needs to be doing now to prepare for that level, or what kind of expectations you would have of him when he gets to that level?
Well, beyond anything, I think the first thing you talk to them is what kind of person are they? What the kind of people we want in our program are guys that make good grades, guys that say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, guys that treat others with respect. We like people in our program that like to lift others up, build others up, not tear people down. The guy that picks up the trash in the cafeteria when nobody's looking, whether it's his trash or not. The guy that's not a discipline problem in the classroom. Those are things I would probably initially talk to them about because, if you're an issue or if you're a discipline problem or anything like that, most of the time you're not going to make it anyway. So before we get to anything physical and strength and running and stuff like that, I mean, we need to talk about what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be. Those are the kind of people we want to program. But as far as physical stuff, I think that age, they're real young. They don't probably need to be, heavy in the weight room, anything like that. But just, I think any kind of drills you can do, any kind of camps you can go to work on your speed, work on your quickness is good. Go outside and play the game. The days when you and I were kids where we'd spend all day outside throwing the football, throwing the baseball, shooting, shooting the basketball and all that kind of stuff has kind of gone to the wayside with all of these games. They spend all their time inside playing on, whatever the big gaming systems are now, and so I'd really say, man, just be an outdoors guy. Go outside and play every sport. Don't focus on one. Don't try to just go one sport guy, play them all. And I think every sport can help every other sport and be complementary. Playing basketball helps your footwork. Playing baseball, hand-eye coordination, football, mental toughness, there are different things like that. So, be an all-sport guy. And if you get to the point where you're in high school or junior, senior, you know what, you really want to focus on one, then so be it. But I think when you're that young, it benefits you to do a lot of things. So really have an open mind and play everything.
Question like we'd asked earlier about when you decided in high school that you wanted to be a coach. If you had a high schooler come to you and say, "Coach, I'm just really, you're a role model for me, and I want to do the same thing you're doing," what kind of advice would you give them to get them prepared for a life in coaching?
I'd say, I was fortunate. I was lucky. And we do the same thing that Bridge City did for me. We hire guys out of high school and we call them graduate assistants, and they coach junior high sports for us and they do custodial work for us. So, I mean, they actually get on the job training while they're going through college. So I would recommend seeing if there's a school somewhere that does that program, whether it be us or somebody else. And you'll find out real fast if this is something you want to do because there are a lot of hours involved in it. There are a lot of expectations. There's a lot of highs and lows. The money, when you first start out isn't fantastic. It can grow into things as you move up the profession, but you start to see kind of what the environment is. You start to see the work days, the work hours. It's a 12-month out of the year job, and it's a 7-day a week job or 6-day a week job. And so I would recommend that if that's what they want to do. But I also, recommend, be a sponge. If you've got a head coach, whether it be me or somebody else that's willing to sit down with you and talk about stuff and teach things and give advice, go find those guys that win state championships and go talk to them and see what they do that makes them successful and just be a sponge around people to go soak up as much of the information as you can get and then have a good attitude. And I think the one thing I didn't do when I was younger in the profession to the one thing that I do, I think now is I see a bigger purpose in our job as coaches and teachers and administrators. When I was 23, it was probably all about winning and winning only, and use the language, whatever language you want to use, or win at all costs and all that. And to now at my age and where I'm at in my faith and things like that, there's a bigger calling than what we do. And winning championships is great. Winning district titles is good. State titles is fantastic. But, when I take my last breath on this earth, I have a feeling that he's not going to care about how many district trophies I got or how many state championships I've won. He's going to want to know what did I do for the kingdom, and that's really where my main focus is more than anything. And with the understanding that if you don't win enough games, they get rid of you. There'll be another guy sitting in his chair. But if you do things the right way and you do the small things right and you hit the details, I think the winning comes. If that makes any sense.
Makes makes perfect sense, Coach. And let's see, this is a question that I've loved to ask because Orangefield has. When I post things in Orangefield communities, there's always an outpouring of support in anything that Orangefield does, whether it's on the field or off the field. But like you never really can get enough support for a team or an organization or a school. So what would some things that you would say to the community to like just support the team and the district in general?
Yeah, I mean they do a good job here. That honestly, it's you know, our fans are good fans. They're rabid athletic fans, sports fans, and so we've been getting a good following on the road. The other night at Hardin, the stands were full, so I really can't complain of anything about the fans. They do a good job. They have every right in the world to boo me if we do something stupid. If they, boo an official if it's a bad call. I think the most important thing is realize these are kids, playing these games. These are kids that are competing. Sometimes we're a little hard on them, including myself. At times, I got to catch myself on that. Understand that these are just teenagers, trying to do the best they can. They don't want to disappoint me. They don't want to disappoint the community. They don't want to disappoint the fans, and so they're giving everything they got, to represent this community and this program. They're doing everything they got to represent our fans and do the best. So, if they screw up, understand it's a screw up. They didn't do it on purpose, and just kind of keep supporting them. Be loud, be proud, let them know you love them and care about them. And our people do a pretty good job of that. And it's not just sports. I mean, you look at our band; they're going to be competing at the contest this weekend, and then so they've done a great job. Cross country's going to regionals next week, so our FFA Ag program's done great. So there's a lot of good things going over here in the school district, but I don't know if I don't really have any complaints about the fans. They're I'm glad they're showing up. You wish you could feel every stand, every game, and everything we do. That's just not reality. But the ones that are here, be loud, be proud, and just love on the kids. I think is a big thing.
Okay, Coach, I'm pretty much sure that the rest of your day is probably accounted for and probably well into the sunset hour. So I'll let you get
Yeah,
back to work.
I
It was a
appreciate it.
pleasure. It was a pleasure having you on. I always look forward to your emails during the week because it's just another opportunity to share things that Orangefield is doing and doing well. So I want to compliment you and the district for just doing an excellent job for the students in your district.
Thank
And
you.
you are more than welcome to come back on the show whenever. And hopefully, the next time you're on the show, you'll be district champs and looking to those playoffs.
That would be nice. I'll come on anytime you need me to. But the district championship, you try to tell the kids it's literally one day at a time, one week at a time, and you get caught looking ahead, you're going to slip up and get beat. And I told them last week it gets hard. And when you watch those highlight shows Friday night or Saturday morning after the game or whatever it is, there's always an upset in the state of Texas. They always come on and go, "Hey, upset alert, Central Texas, upset alert, Austin area, upset alert, Houston." And I don't want to be that team that's on the upset alert. So we gotta stay focused. We got to respect every opponent that we have, whatever their record is, and we got to we got to literally take one day at a time, and hopefully at the end of the year, things worked out well for us.
Well, Coach, like I said, it was great to be able to sit down and finally talk to you and more than just emails back and forth. And I hope to do it again really soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.